Hey y'all, it's Mr. Smith. This video again is meant to accompany the calculator inactive book, but of course if you just want to watch the videos that you know how to do this problem, that's no problem. But it is a Pythagorean triangle quadratic type word problem. So in this example it says the larger leg of a right triangle is 6 inches longer than a short leg. The hypotenuse is 12 inches longer than the short leg. How many inches long is the hypotenuse? Um, So in this problem, we're going to identify our different legs. So let's call our short leg X. So this is going to be our short leg. And again, this is just like a little let statement. Again, we call it let statements because we want to let X represent the short leg. It says the larger leg is 6 inches longer than the short leg. So whatever the short leg is, plus 6 is going to be the larger leg. I'm just going to call it long leg. And then it also says the hypotenuse is 12 inches longer than the short leg. So it's the short leg plus 12. So we have X plus 12 is our hypotenuse. So if we wanted a visual representation of this, we could have our short leg, our long leg, and our hypotenuse. And this would be X plus 12. This would be X plus 6. And this would just be X. So if you remember, with the right triangle, we know we have A squared plus B squared is equal to C squared. And we're going to use this relationship to solve for X. So we're going to have A be our short leg, which is X. So we have X squared. And then we have B squared, which is our long leg. So we have X plus 6 squared is going to be equal to our C squared, which is our hypotenuse. C always has to be your hypotenuse. So we have X plus 12 squared. So we end up with X squared plus, and right here you just do the box method, and when you do the box method you should get X squared plus 12X plus 36. So again, all I did on the side, X and 6, X and 6, we get X squared, 6X, 6X, and 36. Like terms, so we get X squared plus 12X plus 36. And that's how we got that. And then we'll do the same thing here. And you should get X squared plus 24X plus 144. Again, all we did was box. So we have X and 12, X and 12. So we get X squared, 12X, 12X, and 144. Those are like terms. You get X squared plus 24X plus 144. And so now, before we go any further, we want to simplify each side. So when we look at this side, we want to find all our like terms. So we have that one and that one. So we get 2x squared plus 12x plus 36. And now we're still solving for x. Remember, anytime you are solving for x and you have an x squared term in the equation, you want to move everything to one side so that you get 0 on one side. So again, anytime you're solving for x and there's an x squared term in the equation, you need to get 0 on one of the sides. So in order to do that, I'm going to subtract this x squared. So I'm moving this x squared over here. I'm going to subtract 24x on both sides, so minus 24x. And I'm also need to move the 144. So it's a positive, so I'm going to subtract 144 on both sides. Because remember, what you do to one side, you have to do to the other. So 2x squared minus x squared is x squared. 12 minus 24x is 12x. And then a positive 36 and a negative 144 is minus 108. So now on this side, x squared minus x squared, 0. 24x minus 24x, 0. 144 minus 144 is 0. So now this goes back to our quadratic unit, where all we need to do is just find the root, or find the 0. So we're going to factor. Luckily, our a is 1, so we can quick factor. So we need to figure out what numbers add up to negative 12 and multiply to give us negative 108. So there's a couple of numbers that I can think of. Of course, you always want to start off with 1. So 1 times 108, again, I'm not worried about the positives yet, but 1 times 108 will give us 108. But if we add or subtract these, so if we do 108 plus 1, we don't get 12. If we do 108 minus 1, we don't get 12. So we go on to the next number. 2 does go into 108, so 108 divided by 2 is 54. And to double check, 54 times 2 is 108. If we add these together, we do not get 12. If we subtract them, we do not get 12. So let's try 3. I'm not sure if it goes in, so let's check. So I'm going to do some real division real quick. So 3 into 10 is 3 times. We get 9, subtract 18, 6. So we get 36. But if we add these together, we get 39. If we subtract them, we get 33. Neither one is 12. So let's try 4. So again, I don't know this one off the top of my head, so I'm going to do my division. It goes into there twice. 8, we subtract, we get 28, and it goes into that 7 times, so 27. And again, if we add or subtract this, we do not get 12. So we go on. 5. I know this number does not end in 5 and does not end in 0, so 5 does not work. So let's try 6. So we have 108. Again, I don't know that one off the top of my head. It goes into 10 one time. We subtract, we get 48. And so 6 goes into 48 8 times, so we get 18. And if we subtract these, we get 12. So I know those are my two numbers. And now I just figure out which one needs to be negative. Since my answer is negative, I know my bigger number needs to be negative. And negative 8 times a positive 6 is a negative, and 18 times 6 is 108. So those are my two numbers. So when I factor, since it's quick factor, because a is 1, I know it's x and x, we have minus 18, and we have x plus 6. We break this up into two separate equations. So we have x minus 18 is equal to 0, and we have x plus 6 is equal to 0. So we're going to add 18 here, add 18 here. So we have x is equal to 18, subtract 6, and we have x is equal to negative 6. Now in this problem, we are dealing with a length. So when you measure something, you cannot have a negative number. There are no negative numbers on a ruler. So if I try and measure the side of a house, it's not going to tell me that it's negative 6 meters long. It's not going to happen. So we know that this is not a valid solution. So we know 18 is our solution. So we know the short leg is 18. So we know this one is 18. We know that our long leg is x plus 6. So it needs to be 18 plus 6. So we're going to do 18 plus 6 is going to be 24. And then our hypotenuse is x plus 12. Well, x is 18, right? So we need to do 18 plus 12. So we have 18 plus 12, which is 30. And so the question says, how many inches long is the hypotenuse? Well, the hypotenuse is 30 inches. And that would be our answer, 30 inches. I really hope this video helped. If you need to watch it again, and just rewind and start all over again. Besides that, y'all have a great day.